How's it going, guys? My name is Nick Guerrero. I'm a 7-figure Amazon seller, and just last year I was $0 in sales on Amazon. I didn't know what I was doing with my life. I was working a job, extremely depressed, living paycheck to paycheck, and now I've been able to create the lifestyle I've always dreamed of. I was able to purchase the car of my dreams, and I want to share you guys my story and how I was able to get here. So this is my story, how I went from being extremely depressed, stressed out at my job, living paycheck to paycheck, not knowing what I was doing with my life, to now being a full-time 7-figure Amazon seller, living in this beautiful condo in Brickell. So it all started when I was extremely young. I'm from Ecuador. I'm a first-generation United States citizen. I come from not much, really, to be honest with you. I came with my mom over here at the age of 3. I went back to live in Ecuador for 2 years because I couldn't figure out my whole citizenship visa thing. I don't even know how to explain it, but I couldn't really figure out how to live here. So I had to go back to Ecuador and live there for 2 more years. In Ecuador, I didn't have air conditioner. There was no opportunity. It was a private school in the middle of the ghetto. So for me, I didn't really understand opportunities or anything that the world could offer me, right? Then I ended up coming back over here to Miami, and growing up, I was never presented business, right? I grew up really reckless. I didn't really care about orders. I didn't really care about commands. All throughout elementary school, I would always get in trouble. I was always in what you call it CSI. I was always in detention. I just didn't really care about people's rules. I didn't care about what they would tell me. I just wanted to do my own thing. That went all throughout high school as well. And some part of high school, when I was 16 years old, that's when I first got introduced to entrepreneurship. And I actually introduced myself to entrepreneurship because I was in this position where I saw guys with more money. Like, I saw guys with cars at 16, and I'm like, how are they getting this money? And I understood, right? Like, a lot of them come from good family, but I didn't come from a good family. So I understood that I had to do something myself to then go and start making some sort of money. I applied for a bunch of different jobs, and I pretty much got rejected. I actually got rejected from Publix 5 times. And I talked to the manager face to face, and he said he would hire me. Didn't hire me. So then after that, one business I always saw was people fixing iPhone screens. I would always see people crack their iPhone screens, and I'm like, there's someone fixing them. And I would see stores where you would go there and fix your iPhone screen. So I'm like, how can I make a business out of that? How can I make money? I did a quick YouTube video. It was a 15-minute YouTube video. From that, I was able to learn how to fix an iPhone screen. I was able to find a toolkit for 30 bucks. To buy an iPhone screen was $30. So I pretty much taught myself through YouTube how to fix an iPhone screen. And I was buying iPhone screens for 30 bucks and charging people $90, $80 for the service. So I was doing a couple iPhone screens per week and making whatever money. I saved up around 3K money at the age of 16. I stopped that because I wanted to pursue football. And after that, I was going down sort of this whole thing of, I still didn't really know what I was doing. I wanted to pursue football, but I really wasn't the greatest. Like, even though I would try my hardest, I would always like come very short. I would always get injured. I injured both of my wrists twice each. I injured both of my ankles twice each. I even stretched my tendon on my left shoulder. So then I started understanding, it's like, I don't think football is for me. And that's, I stopped and I started thinking about my life. Like, what do I really want? Like, I felt very stuck at 18, and I got very sad, and I started going towards other things. I started getting distracted. I would just literally just work out and go party. So my life right after high school for 3 months was just working out and partying every day. What ended up happening was I had a car, and I ended up totaling it after a crash. After crashing my car, I realized I'm in this position where I don't have any money. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I want in life. And I just crashed my car and I have no money to pay for it. So I literally had to give up my car. It was a decent car. It was a Nissan 2012 Altima. And I just had to leave it there because I couldn't fix it. I had zero money to fix my car. So after that, I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and just stop my lifestyle. I stopped partying, and I understood that I want to go ahead and finally work on something. I want to find a job and find something that I want to pursue in life, pursue a career and everything. So I started reading several books. One book I read was Why We Want You to Be Rich. It's by Donald Trump and Robert Kiyosaki. And after reading that book, I understood that the reason to not be rich is because of everything life has to offer, but more so because the middle class is going to go ahead and get depleted. There's not going to be a middle class anymore. There's only going to be rich and poor. So if you want to choose a side, I wanted
to choose rich. So I'm like, okay, let me go ahead and just no life this shit. Let me go ahead and just put my head down and just try to find a way to build something. So what I ended up doing, I worked for a political campaign. And then what ended up happening there is I understood that I liked sales because I would go door to door presenting state representative. And even though I was getting paid like 10 bucks an hour, I understood something that I liked. So I worked with that a couple months. I started college, and within college, I was able to join a program called Year Up. I did a 6-month internship at a sales job. Within there, I worked in Comcast business for another 2 years. So that helped me start my career in sales. But the thing there is, I always was involved in entrepreneurship. One thing I didn't mention is during my time working in sales, I tried different businesses. I tried drop shipping, I tried trading stocks, I tried trading Forex, I tried NFT trading, I tried trading crypto, I tried gaming coins in crypto. I tried so many different businesses and I was only losing money. I never made any money from any of the businesses that I was trying because I didn't really have a mentor and there was just a bunch of different content online. And then honestly, these were all very risky businesses. So I still knew I had that motivation, that determination to keep trying, and I just wasn't making any money. And I was in this position where even though I had a job, I never liked my job. It was like being forced to do something that you don't like, but you have to do it anyways. So that way you're able to pay for all your bills, for your rent, your car, your insurance, because if you stop working that job, you stop living. So I was forced to do something that I didn't like. 2 years passed down the road, and then I ended up going to another job. After 2 years working at that new job, I ended up asking for a promotion. Now, when I asked for that promotion, in my head, I actually brought in a lot of money because I was in sales. I brought in that company around like $400,000 in revenue. I was bringing in so much value by teaching every other employee. I was always on time. I was trying my hardest. In my head, that promotion was going to get accepted. And I wasn't even asking for that much money. I think I was asking for like $5,000 more per year. Nothing crazy, really. And what ended up happening was that promotion got denied. In my head, that was a huge shocker. And I was like, what the hell is going on? Like, no way I just gave this company 2 years of my life and I asked for a $5,000 promotion and it gets denied. And then after that, it brought me back to that time when I was 16 years old where I wanted to find a job, where I wanted to work, I wanted to make money. There was just no way out of it. So what I ended up doing was starting my own business. So it brought me back to that point when I understood that my promotion got denied. My friend Max was actually working in Amazon. He was actually selling products on Amazon at a low scale for a year and a half before me. Max and I, we tried different businesses. They all failed. And then finally one was working. So I understood that business was working. So I said, hey Max, let me just go ahead and just try it with you. And what ended up happening was, so I started working with Max and I understood the whole concept, but I didn't know how simple it was. He explained to me that, yes, Nick, I know you tried drop shipping. I know you tried Forex, but the thing is, this is very simple. You don't have to have a PhD in rocket science or a master's in business. What I really do is just resell products on Amazon. I'm like, what do you mean? Like, you don't create your own listings? Like, no. What he explained to me was, I'm not creating any of my own listings. I'm not creating any of my own brands. I'm not even shipping out the products myself to the customers. I'm literally just finding these products in retail stores, shipping it out to Amazon, and then Amazon is sending it out to the customers for me, and he's just collecting money in the back end. I'm like, that's all you're doing? He's like, yeah. He's like, you want to join me? I'm like, hell yeah, I want to join you. So to me, that was a huge way out of the matrix, pretty much. This was something that I was looking for, literally 4 years of trying every day, trying to find a business that made a lot of money. And I finally found something that was so simple that I could make money the next day. Max and I, we would go to the retail stores. I didn't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. But to me, the ambition and determination of just finally creating something for myself always stuck in my head, that I just went ahead and went to the retail stores, bought products, shipped it out to Amazon. And my first week, I did 1,200 in sales. To me, it was like, oh, wow, like this actually works. So then what I ended up doing is I gave it more time, more of my energy. I would be at work looking for products, like forget my job. I wanted to create something for myself to leave. So I would work on my business while working on my job. And while doing that, I ended up scaling it up. And my second month, I did 63K in sales. My third month, I was able to quit my job. And during that third month, I became a 6-figure seller on Amazon. It was amazing because I was looking for something 4 years every day, trying my hardest on so many different businesses. And then all it really took was putting my head down and focusing on one business, a very simple business, very low risk, and just giving it my all. And once I did that, I pretty pretty much was able to create an Amazon store, scale my business up, and finally be able to quit my job, finally create a business, and finally work for myself and be able to build wealth. That's pretty much my story of how I was able to start and where I'm at now. But to keep going even further, after I was able to hit 6 figures on Amazon, I then went ahead and tried to find ways to go ahead and delegate my business. So I was able to find virtual assistants, get more capital, and now I'm pretty much have an Amazon store that's running on its own. On myself, when I was learning about like one of those books or other business books, you want to create a business that works on its own. If you have a business where you're always working in it as an employee, you're always going to be a slave at the end of the day. You're never going to have a business that works on its own. So for me, that was my goal. And what ended up happening was for 8 months, I was here chilling with Max and Brickle for 8 months, not needing to do anything because Amazon was pretty much handled for me. I would buy products, it would get shipped to another warehouse, Amazon would ship it out for me, and I was just collecting money in the back end. Now, Max and I, we own a warehouse that's 14,000 square feet up in New Hampshire because now we want to be able to do $1 million plus per month on Amazon. Now we're at a new scale where we've been able to finally create wealth, build something for ourselves. Your life changes a lot when you put your head down and focus on one business. You got to make sure it's a very simple business that you can give it all your attention, give it all your energy, and you'll go ahead and make a living. I remember life was so bad at some point, I would go to school, I'm talking high school. I would finish my high school time and go work a job till 2 a.m. And I was a busser at Sushi Saki. So I was getting paid like $7.10 an hour. So I would go there, and for me, it was like, oh my God, I feel amazing because I finally have my first job. But then after realizing 2 weeks, I'm doing slave work and getting paid $7.10 an hour. And I was literally destroying my health because I would go there and work till 2 a.m. and I had to be up at 6 a.m. for school. And I was doing that 5 days a week. So that was a really terrible time in my life. Another bad time was when I was working at McDonald's while going to high school as well. I would literally finish high school. It was 2:20 p.m. All my friends were hitting me up like, hey Nick, where are you going? Like, let's go to my friend, let's go to this guy's house, go chill over here, go work on this, just go play football, let's go play basketball. And I had to put on my McDonald's hat and go to McDonald's. That was terrible. I had to work from McDonald's from 3 p.m. all the way to midnight. I didn't have anything else to do. I had no time to do anything else. Right after I finished at McDonald's, I was just go home and go to sleep and go to school. And I did that 5 days, sometimes even 6 days a week because I just want to make some money. I wanted to go ahead and just work on myself and do something. All right, guys, that's my story. Honestly, super crazy journey. I tried my hardest every day for 6 years, but there's something really important I want to show you.
Yeah, guys, that's my story. And at the end of the day, just like I mentioned several times, just last year, I was working a really shitty job, depressed, and I had no idea how to do Amazon. One thing that I've came to realization is it's better to learn from other people. And if you want to learn more about Amazon and want to learn how I could help you by you working directly with me, I have a coaching program inside my Amazon community called Ecom Success Network, in which you'll be able to work directly with me and I'll help you get started all the way from zero sales to where I'm at, being able to automate and delegate your Amazon store. It was a pleasure speaking with you all, and I'll catch you guys on the next video.